Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Now, of course, Kentucky has now made it to where they're almost certain to go to a bowl game. But I thought it would be nice to kind of talk about the bowl games and where Kentucky may end up. There's a lot of different choices and it can be complicated. So let's look. Right now, there are 11 different bowl games that teams from the SEC can go to. Some of them are obvious. You've got the National Football Playoff. Alabama's going to that one. You got the Sugar Bowl. It's probably very likely that Texas A&M goes there. Then you've got the Citrus Bowl, and we'll go ahead and put Florida there. But for the rest of the bowls for Kentucky, there are really 6 to 8 choices where they could end up. You see them there on the screen. They could end up in Charlotte at the Belk Bowl, the Music City in Nashville, the Liberty in Memphis, Tax Slayer, a weird name, of course, in Jacksonville, Outback in Tampa, Birmingham Bowl, Shreveport for the Independence Bowl, or the Texas Bowl in Houston. So I thought, knowing all that, we should get to know a little bit about these places, because if you're a Kentucky fan, you might end up traveling to one of them. Now, my assumption is you know the big cities. We all know Nashville. The Music City Bowl is a lot of fun. We've been there before. You know Memphis pretty well. You got Beale Street. We played East Carolina there in the Liberty Bowl. Both of those would be fun, and we would get huge crowds. You also probably know something about Houston and Charlotte. I hate Houston. It's the most spread out city in America. Charlotte's kind of an up-and-coming, fun place, but there's a lot of Carolina and Duke fans. So let's throw all those to the side. If we go to one of them, we know what to expect. But now there are 4 bowls that maybe you don't know as much about. So I thought I would break down the pros and cons of going to the various ones. Let's start with the Birmingham Bowl. Now, luckily for you, the Birmingham Bowl is in Birmingham. If it wasn't, it would be a terribly named bowl. It's December the 29th, but Birmingham is not exactly an ideal city. The Wall Street Journal named Birmingham the 6th worst place to live in America. In fact, your chances of being the victim of a crime in Birmingham are 1 in 63. So think about it like this. If you and 62 friends of yours go to the bowl game, one of you is going down, and there's nothing you can do about it. They have a sales tax of 10%, one of the highest in the country, and it's been ranked one of the top 100 cities in the world for ghost activity. Now, I don't believe in ghosts, but if they exist, I think they'd hang out in Birmingham because it's awful. So we don't want to go there. Then you got Jacksonville. That's the Tax Slayer Bowl. You may remember it used to be the Gator Bowl, but it got bought out by Tax Slayer. And if there's one thing you want to think of at a bowl game, it's taxes. The weird thing about this bowl is it starts at 11 a.m. in the morning on New Year's Eve. Now, I don't know about you. New Year's Eve is a long enough day. 11 in the morning would seem like a terrible time to start. Jacksonville is, of course, the county seat of Duval County, which was the murder capital of Florida in 2015. And even worse, Jacksonville's the home of Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst, one of the 90s worst exports, Jacksonville's his home. Now, it is a very nerdy bowl. Anything with taxes we don't want to be a part of. Jacksonville, not a fun city, even though my friend Chris Mosley lives there. Let's throw that one out. Then you have the Camping World Independence Bowl in Shreveport. It is the day after Christmas, December 26th at 4 o'clock, which means if you play your cards right, you could spend Christmas in lovely Shreveport. It's the destination for people who want to go to New Orleans but don't have the gas to all get there, and so they stop in Shreveport and go to poor, low-level casinos. It is ranked as one of the 10 worst cities in America for, quote, overall well-being. I've never known anyone to go to Shreveport. I can't tell you anything about it, and I can't imagine it's fun. Which leaves me with where I hope Kentucky ends up. Tampa for the Outback Bowl. It's on New Year's Day. That's when bowl games are supposed to be. Tampa gets 244 days of sun a year, and according to Airbnb, it's the nation's most hospitable city. They also have something that's special, the world's largest chicken wing and a statue of the great American hero, Hulk Hogan. So this is what I'm here to say. There's a lot of choices, but I hope we end up in Tampa for the Outback Bowl. No matter what you think about football or Tampa, we all know this. The bloomin' onion is delicious, and nothing would be better than eating it on New Year's Day. With that, we're going to take a break and be right back. Ricky will join me again. This is Hey Kentucky.